So yesterday was kind of interesting. I got a Twitter notification that YouTuber Thrash Gamer said that I don't know gaming. He was like, people have YouTube channels and they really need to learn about gaming. So I said, hey man, play me in a game of Mortal Kombat. You know me. Whenever people start saying all this stuff, I just want to play somebody and more. I don't know what is going on. But somehow, as we were talking, for some reason, he was like, "Hey, man, I want to go live. Are you okay with me going live? Is your voice shared?" I was like, "Yeah, by any means." I have 30 minutes. Ended up being more than 30 minutes. And I think a lot of the misunderstanding about the gaming industry is coming from a place where I don't think a lot of people want to listen to each other. But it was a very interesting conversation nonetheless. I mean, if you want to listen to it. I was literally, he was asking me a lot of questions about PC. He had a lot of presumptions and assumptions. There are people who are playing on PC, and I was reading his chat, and I said to myself, I can't believe, like, at this moment in time, the PC ecosystem is still very foreign to a lot of the folk that actually play on console. But again, I'm not surprised. The console ecosystem is kind of closed off. And so a lot of people just think that, the way gaming works there is probably similar in some regard to the way it works on PC and all of this, conversation. But anyways, one thing I wanted to do in terms of making this video was I wanted to go ahead and talk about how Xbox is slowly gaining ground in an area that, a lot of people were laughing at first. Now, when you think about how PlayStation works, like, so yesterday, when we said we're going to play Mortal Kombat, I just downloaded it on PlayStation. I got PlayStation Plus Extra 1 month. I'm going to deactivate that crap immediately. But I was going to basically just make it easy. And he was like, isn't it crossplay? I was like, well, the way they set up the game, it's kind of difficult to go ahead from Steam to play against somebody on console in a private match. In Combat League, you can match make with, people on Xbox, people on Epic Games, people on PlayStation without any problems. But they already brought this game on Game Pass, and the game is Play Anywhere. I know Warner Brothers be doing this nonsense. They could have easily put this game on here, Play Anywhere day one, and I'm not going to sit here and, credit them. I would rather credit Xbox as they are making this push to make gaming even better and more accessible. I really did want this game on PC because I play it on PC, so I could actually boost my gameplay hours, because if you look at my Steam hours on Mortal Kombat, it's actually quite insane what what I've actually been doing here with this particular game. It's right here. Look at it on the top right corner. You might want to zoom in to see that. I'm not going to say it out loud. That's crazy. But I've been playing it for a number of years now, and I'm downloading this version on PC. It's the same version as my Xbox console, and it also has access to my Warner Brothers Progress. So where I stopped on my Steam and where I stopped on my, it's going to all sync. So I'm not losing any progress overall. In fact, it was interesting because it was a kind of a cross, type thing with the online, piece of it. And so that actually does work. So this is a really cool thing. And now, even more and more, you're seeing more games become Play Anywhere titles as time is going on. This small, I said small. This, something that was once a small step, is now inching to become something that is absolutely a juggernaut, in a sense, magnificent. Because, if you go ahead and kind of calculate it now, no one is bringing out a video game, in my opinion anyways, on the Xbox ecosystem without considering Play Anywhere. And the retroactive adding of games like, for instance, Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, yes, that game is now a Play Anywhere title as well. You look at Hogwarts Legacy, you look at games launching, you look at games that are coming out. Xbox is basically pushing its own games as two versions, regardless of what it is you're doing. And now these are the companies who are coming to their platform is following suit. What's going to happen is there's not going to be a reason for a developer to sit there and not make money, especially when they think about the ecosystem. They've taken the time to go ahead and demystify, right, this whole thing that is called, that's called making a game for a console and making a game for a PC. Immediately, you're going to make a build for PC. You can already go ahead and package that build for Xbox as a platform. And that's what's going to make things very interesting at this particular moment. And so when I saw Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, I think it was the other day, there it is, it says Play Anywhere. right up top here. I don't know why Mortal Kombat's image is showing. The app is actually acting a fool. But again, it's downloading a big, massive, fat file for me. So 135 gigs this game. So the moment you see that and, you can draw two and two together, you already know that PlayStation, who has the Mortal Kombat game as well, and the version that I already downloaded, I don't know if it's synced with my progress. No, my WDID is not connected to PlayStation. It's actually connected to, my Xbox account. Because the first time I played Mortal Kombat with somebody else, I was trying to play cross-platform with my brother. He has an Xbox. I didn't. So I was like, all right, I'll just buy it on Xbox. So I got it on Xbox for us to play a few matches. But when you go in and think about how much this is actually changing the industry, a lot of people aren't paying attention. They're way too worried about Xbox's box. But what they're not paying attention to is Xbox's platform and ecosystem is surpassing PlayStation every day. A developer gives you 2 copies of a video game. By the time Xbox's next console comes out, whatever iteration is going to take, that device is already going to have a natural backward compatibility already built in, as if it can access PC games, because it's going to, it's already going to be there. Just look at the ROG Xbox Ally X. As we speak, that console, handheld console PC, is getting Xbox games backward compatible, and the developers are the ones doing it. The third-party developers are doing it. Xbox isn't having to go ahead and do any licensing or whatever it is. It's the developers' hands. They're just making the alternative PC package for Xbox, and once they launch it, all of a sudden, if you had Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater on your Xbox console, you can now play it. This is something that a lot of people have basically forgotten about. And when I was having this conversation with King Thrash, he was convinced that the PC industry is dying because Micron went away, left the consumer business and all the above. Bro, we've seen many of these moves, and the beauty of the PC ecosystem that makes it better, and I will say this anytime, PC as an ecosystem is better than consoles, is because you have a lot of players and you have a lot of options. And that, reality of having a lot of players in the market that are looking to sell you product at any moment in time is what makes the ecosystem quite a beast. There's no way you can actually find this layer, of participation on the console side. It just isn't there. You know what I mean? Like the console ecosystem, for all its attempts, to make things, seem like it's this and that, it's inferior. It's not until Xbox started to actually push for the PC side that they eventually raised their status, because now accessibility is everywhere. You can engage via browser, you can engage via PC, via other devices. And so now the Xbox ecosystem is now a real platform. One where, yes, you can compare to an extent to even Valve, which has the most superior ecosystem across the board and doesn't need hardware to do that. And now Xbox has a piece where, yes, those people who are on the Series consoles, when they're moving along, they're probably not going to ask for backward compatibility. And if what is being rumored by, I think it's Shapeshaw Nick or Nate the Hate, one of them, about Xbox's Jason Ronald talking about possibly bringing backward compatibility to devices like the Xbox Ally so those libraries can come through. If that is actually a thing, then they literally have the best console ecosystem. They make Nintendo more useless than they are, and I will tell you, Nintendo would be useless. Then they make PlayStation more irrelevant. And what was really shocking, before I close this video, was a lot of people who were listening to me, they were shocked when they found out that I actually play on PlayStation, because I played, that game of Mortal Kombat with King Thrash on my PS5. They were very surprised that I like PlayStation games. They were very surprised that I'm actually a gamer and I could criticize PlayStation and talk about how backward their ecosystem is. And that by itself is what we need more of in the community, rather than the console warring and talking about how one, particular console is not doing, something, if you understand what I mean, rather than talk about where the strong points are compared to PlayStation and how PlayStation has purposefully stayed backwards in order for them to milk more money out of their audiences rather than actually provide more value. That's the conversation that should be going on. And as I'm having that conversation, it's continued to burn the PlayStation audience. Rather than y'all being honest, you guys want to go ahead and cap around and insult Xbox, who's actually advancing gaming. That's why we're on different pages.